So every session is a satsang. Satsang means that you receive, and to receive means you have a receptivity. You are ready. Are you really ready every time you attend the session? We are going deeper. One group of mind is empty but closed. It is empty. You can fill the knowledge. But those kind of people do not want knowledge. You are still doing meditation. You are a tamasic person. They don't think too much, but do everything to remove their problem without reflecting on it. They are not doing satsang. They may be listening to the teacher for years together, but no change. Even while listening, they are engaged in something else. Their mind is engaged in something else. What should I do? I take magnesium. I take golden milk. I put the eye bag, but I'm not getting a sleep. I'm not reflecting. One group of mind is empty but closed. They don't want to put the knowledge there. So we have to be very cautious in reaching to the higher state of the consciousness. If our mind has this habit, tamasic habit, we have to get rid of it. Then the second group of the people, they are open, then closed. They are open, then closed. What it means? Oh, you are wasting your time in meditation. Meditation is just focus on the breath. Open, after that closed. Are you understanding? Second group of the people. First group of the people not interested, wasting your time. Second group of the people, their mind. I'm talking about the mind. They are open, they are closed. They are open, they are closed. Oh, and they are ready to preach and teach and talk to the others. Oh, they can give you a good talk. They are the Rajasic type of the people. The Rajasic, with lot of arrogance and aggressiveness. They feel that level of arrogance and aggressiveness, except arrogance, or you can just take it positively, excited. They want to live in excitement, pleasure seeking things in the world. They do not know the reality. They smash everyone. Even you can find a person in your family, show their tantrum to others. So the first group of the mind is closed. They are selfish. They just want to know you're wasting your time. Second group of the people, they are open, closed, open, closed, open, closed. They live in the matter in the state of excitement. You don't get anything too much from the satsang, third type of the people. Always open, nice, always open, inspire others to remain open, always ready to learn from parents, from child, from friends, from teachers, not closed. So what is required in satsang is that I filter out. Satsang helps you teach. It educates our mind to filter the unwanted, unnecessary information based on your discernment and dispassion. You're always open. You receive the knowledge. You don't keep the mind empty and closed. Empty, open, and closed at intervals. So if your mind is open all the time, you know how to filter the information and apply the discernment and dispassion. We meet all kinds of people. We meet all kinds of people in the world. You know, every day. So you are still open. You know how to filter that information. So this long learning helps you to actually live in satsang, live with the truth, live with the real. Satsang helps you to move from the tamasic to rajasic to sattvic nature of the mind. You have been attending the session, and gradually, if your mind is always open, you receive it, you contemplate, you reflect. The time comes, you recognize that I have become calm and relaxed. I've been receptive. My level of reaction has gone down, it has reduced. Yes, I'm attending the session. I'm attending the session. Once I recognize the importance of this, I have to attend the session at 6 early in the morning with my master, and I used to reach at 5:30, half an hour before any satsang, and used to check for half an hour that is the mind still receptive or it is thinking of something else. It is in the tamasic mode or the rajasic mode. So I'm not saying, when I'm not in a session and you are waiting. What I'm saying is that can you tune your mind to be receptive? Can your mind recall and repeat what you have learned in the last session? Did you have the chance to apply it in your life? Life is even the satsang alone can help you to reach to the higher state of meditation. This is what our master says. Even listening. So listening to the teacher. Teacher does not mean the teacher or has to teach from the knowledge. Teacher does not teach from his own knowledge. It is his unique way of expression. That is all. But the knowledge, we focus that is, am I teaching from the knowledge that is already existing of the Eastern wisdom? Remember, my friends, that satsang helps you to remove the impurities of the mind. Just by listening, yes. I told you, based on the three qualities of a mind. If you have the third type of the mind, you are definitely going to remove the impurities of the mind. Impurities of the mind will definitely be removed. Awakening to discernment and dispassion. Gradually, by listening and learning, something flashes in my mind when I get agitated, and that flash tells me there is no need to get agitated. This person, magnesium every day, golden milk every day, and eye bags. You carry bag, which is heavy. It is even the mind says discomfort, and you carry the eye bag. And in the mind, you are thinking, I'm not getting asleep. How can you get asleep? In spite of all the external factors that you have done. So it happened last 2 weeks, but now that person is happy, he is getting asleep. Why? Third type of the mind. That is what the satsang is. That is the role and the importance of the satsang. First, it removes the impurities of the mind. Second, it awakens to discernment and dispassion. If it does not awaken you to discernment and dispassion, then it is worthless to attend the session. From the first two categories of the mind, your mind remains judgmental, highly judgmental. And because of that judgmental, you invite likes and dislikes and hatred and anxiety and aggression and excitement. Third type of the mind is promoting calmness and happiness. What we talk in this entire journey, we don't criticize anyone. Just for the sake of understanding, we take example of the people. So by consistent listening and learning, your mind reaches to that state of sattvic nature. You listen to the crazy stuff, but it doesn't affect you. World is full of everything. No, it doesn't affect you. You take it easy. You maybe listening from your parents, maybe from your kids, maybe from your honey, but it doesn't affect you. Very powerful effect of the satsang. If it happens, you're there. It promotes the calmness and the joy inside. You want to live in the joy. So you say to your mind that, why I should get agitated? Because my honey is reactive. Why I should get agitated? Why? That why does not enter into your mind in the first two types, tamasic and rajasic nature. Yeah, look at the Terry has changed a lot. My maid makes me crazy, but now, no, no, no. Level of receptivity has increased. This is the power of what I said, the satsanga. And take it one thing always that satsanga really means the company with the real self, company with peace and happiness, company with higher level of awareness. That is what the satsang is. It facilitates now when you live into that state, then only it facilitates the self-inquiry, which results into self-realization by removing the ignorance. And that is what I have titled this session, Moving from Ignorance to Wisdom. From hammer, the delusion, to ignorance to wisdom. Ignorance to wisdom is a deeper than hammering the delusion, because delusion is caused by the ignorance. So in the second group, if you remind yourself, satsang, first we challenge our false assumption. In the first two category of the mind, they do not challenge the false assumption. Further, they aid, they increase, they strengthen. Where is meditation? Why you're wasting your time? I have learned it. So what you have learned? Close your eyes and focus on the breath. And continue to move your body for 1 hour. Second category of the mind. First category, don't waste your time, Do some work, earn some bucks instead of simply sitting idle. First category of the mind. So satsang helps you what is attachment and what is detachment. It makes you aware. You experience as a sensation. And because your mind is open, you move to the discernment and you can drop it. That is the power of the satsang. And that is why I added this part in the satsang. The third part is that from duality and depression or duality and delusion, you start living in dispassion and discernment. First time, we have an intellectual understanding what is false and what is real. But by constant listening, the satsang, you realize, oh, this is false. You have an experience, oh, this is false. This is real. And that makes you committed to the self-inquiry. That is why the master said, in the last 3 or 4 sessions. One word that you have said constantly is sing. Sing the principles of Eastern wisdom. No, you can sing Beyonce and other singers also, but this singing is totally different. This singing brings you the state of the calmness, a peace and the joy, and prepares your mind for a higher journey. That is why the master says, continuously sing Gita. Sing, sing. What is the meaning of singing here? Do you invite musicians and and then you start singing? Singing is remembering, reminding yourself where you have gone judgmental, where you have allowed the dispassion to work. And I can bet you, if this person should have worked not judgmentally with the discernment and dispassion, you have burdened yourself to fall into sleep. You take magnesium, you take golden milk. Oh, she wrote me 10, he wrote me 10 points. I have been doing it for the last 3 weeks. Oh, I have been listening to the audio talk from different. So I'm warning you, you have to get rid of that mind. Otherwise, otherwise, during the day, you will find that you are upset. You are upset because of the first two category of the mind. You have to have that receptivity. You have to have that receptivity. If you don't live into that receptivity, it will backfire. Then don't blame me. It is because of your mind. I'm just telling you what happened in my life. A series of ignorance to wisdom, ignorance to wisdom is. So that is why it says sing, sing, sing. In the last, I think 3 sessions before, the master advises sing Gita. Gita means obviously sing East and West. Sing means remind yourself. Not only when you are surrounded by anxiety, ignorance, and depression and tension, but all the time. Why? How? How long? Until it is settled, well settled in the mind and the intellect. You wake up in the morning, and the first thing you recognize, I am the real self, I am of the nature of peace and happiness. That is the meaning of singing. And I told you the equation. So you can analyze through that equation. So once you recognize and realize through the equation, so you have all those tools available, provided our mind is open. But open with the discernment and dispassion, not open judgmentally. If it is open judgmentally, it is Rajasic nature. If it is totally closed, it is Tamasic nature. You see the cause and we give all the reasons. So it means my mind is closed, I am stressed, I am not ready to receive the knowledge. I should recognize it as Tamasic mind, so let me move it to Sattvic. So even in serious problems in your life, you are able to maintain your calmness. You are able to maintain your poise. It comes from. Let us sing another verse. Sukhata kriyate Rama bhoga paschad Dhanta sharire roga yaddapi loke maranam sharanam tadapi namanchati papa charanam. Simple translation so that you can observe it. One easily takes the carnal, physical enjoyment for pleasure, but afterwards they suffer and they ignore that suffering. I have eaten this food and I have entered into this kind of a pleasure, but after effects of that act, I avoid second category of the mind or first category of the mind. And then what happens? There is a disease in the body, obsession to any kind of a pleasure. I'm judgmental. I'm not uh, applying the discernment and dispassion. And then there is a disease in the body. I'm just translating. Although in the world, I know the death is definitely of this body, even then one does not relinquish the relinquish or drop or dissolve those actions which are creating the problems in me, those thoughts, that speech, that actions I continue to do in my life. Answer the question why people live in delusion, even everyone knows body will die. Why? It's a question. Indulgence. From where the indulgence comes? From the first nature of the mind, first type of the mind. Mind is closed. Indulgence is all pleasure. I lost the power of discernment and dispassion. There comes the power of the satsang. You are listening, and your mind, the teacher hammers your mind with that knowledge. Indulgence, obsession, craving. I had this guy who asked me from another session in the group sessions. He said, I divorced recently, and my my ex-wife does not allow my son to meet with me. I asked him that how many times, how many hours per week you used to spend with your son. You see, you have to change the direction. First, let me know. Oh, sometime I have been very busy. I'm an IT expert, so I have to take care of my job. So see me maybe once a week, I used to have dinner with him. And the rest time I did not meet. So why you are insisting now? Can you calm down? Are you getting it? So it happened. So he calmed down almost for 5 or 6 months. And then the wife allowed to meet. Understand these small things if you keep your mind open. This verse emphasizes indulging in anything in the world. Nine factors of the world, equation you remember. Think. I'm just asking you to think. I'm not asking you to just believe blindly and follow it. So the verse is saying, I have to be vigilant to where my indulgence is. Where there is an indulgence or attachment, there is anxiety, duality, conflict, If I get upset with you, it means there is a problem in me, even if you say you are crazy. This is the message. So what happens, what happens, I can tell you in this verse, the message goes little deeper. We all have certain sensitive points in our life with reference to a particular attitude, behavior, and action. And there we do not allow anyone to enter. Mind is closed, the first type. So we can have the three types of the mind simultaneously. And those touchy points means that mind is closed here and it contains a strong indulgence that I don't want to open up. I don't want to open my mind into these areas. So what happens? There is a point of indulgence, there is a point of obsession, which is causing you too much harm, which is blocking you to awaken to the higher consciousness. So this is what the master is saying. I know that death is certain, and still I'm engaged in all kinds of indulgence. Carnal, physical enjoyment, that is what the word is used here as a metaphor of all types of sensual pleasure. Sensual pleasure does not only mean the sex. Sensual pleasure from the five sense objects. That is one of the major reasons in the modern world for diseases in the body. I see the death as a refuse. I said, one day I have to die. Why I should not remain in indulgence and pleasure? You see, mind is closed. Satsang opens up. Remember, it reminds you. It reminds you. It reminds you how knowledge in the verse can change my mind. Intellect. Can you extract the masses? I recognize the fleeting nature of a pleasure and also the pain. Today I have a knee pain, tomorrow it will go. First is the discernment. Knowledge is settled. Now you take care of the knee pain. Oh, what will happen? Now I have a knee pain. I cannot drive. I cannot go to the office. Now you are building the strong indulgence. Are you getting it? Say yes. What will happen? Nothing is going to happen. Only one thing is going to happen. One day we will go to the cremation ground. That is certain. But in between, I start thinking first two types of the mind. I don't apply the third mind. Satsang helps you to settle into the third type of the mind by the teacher who is teaching from the knowledge, recognizing the fleeting nature of the pleasure. Oh, he did not allow me to. I will get another opportunity, but before I should be obsessed, he doesn't allow me to do this thing. Let me think. Mind comes down. Third type of the mind. The teacher helps you to move to the third type of the mind all the time. Understanding, now it helps you to understand the consequences of indulgence, obsession, behavior, anxiety, anything. So, acceptance of the inevitability of the death of the body and acceptance that the real self does not die. I am the real self. You simply remind yourself. Then what happens? Your intellect prepares a plan based on these teachings to counter the habit tendencies which causes the anxiety and the suffering. There's the message of from this verse, my friend. So remember, with that equation, with understanding that I have to sing, my mind is singing in tune with the indulgence and anxiety and reaction. He said this, she said this. This is what is happening all the time in my mind. I accumulate those impressions. And that is the first type of the mind. Mind is totally closed, but I'm ready to react, fight, anger, anxious. One guy told me for the last almost six, telling, Sir, I don't know what happens to my belly. He's totally obsessed with the belly. There may be some discomfort, little discomfort. First type of them. But sir, I got all my examinations done, and the doctor says there is no problem. Now I don't contemplate on this statement. What he's saying, doctors are not able to understand. Did we have those thoughts sometime back in the past? You see, satsang helps. Satsang opens up. It helps you to understand each and every activity that we are doing through our mind and the intellect, our thought process. Satsang changes the entire thought process. And if it is not changing the thought process, you are still sticking to the first two types of the mind. And then one day you will blame this teacher, oh, nothing is happening, I know. Just focus on close your eyes, focus on the breath. So when you focus on the breath, you remember your honey who reacted against you early in the morning. So you move to the first type of the mind or the second type of the mind. Yeah, I have to think. If I don't think in this way, then I'm not attending in the session, I'm not doing the satsang. So we have covered one more verse. Today, close your eyes, my friends. Close your eyes. You're already ready. Place, position, posture. I'm not going to explain you. You already are seekers. The moment you hear, intellect receives, intellect orders the mind, because the mind is living in the third eye. You see how easily I in the practice, I explain you what we discuss, what we understand. Being comfortable, your mind reminds you, oh, comfort is the nature of the real self. It has less to do with the body and the mind. Let me look there. From there, you are comfortable at the physical level. Do you remember? Some of you pointed me out. I told you it is the steadiness in the body. It is not the steadiness of the body. When you recognize the comfort and steadiness in the body, not of the body, the mind drops all anxieties. No, it is very difficult for me to sit in any posture for long, and I get upset. I feel discomfort. I feel the pain. All are gone. That is the power. Being comfortable and being carefree. Yes, being carefree. It is important during this session you pay attention to these teachings of our masters. I'm not teaching anything. And now, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Today, you translate, you reflect on this mantra based on the verse today. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Are you thinking? Are you reflecting on it? How today's talk helped me to explain this line. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. You can reflect peace versus indulgence, peace versus anxiety, peace versus. And that indulgence and anxiety comes from the world outside. I have already given you the 9 factors. The world is suffering. Oh, now I understand it. It's a matter of a blink of an eyelid. You are aware and you are free. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. Question of indulgence, obsession do not arise if I am looking at the center of wholeness or completeness in me. It moves you to the higher level of awareness. Sarvesham, Sarvesham, Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all, wholeness in all. My mind prompts me to speak out. There is no friends of you in the world, there are no enemies in the world. Now, in that line of the thought, you think about this verse. May there be an auspiciousness for all. I carry the enmity, I carry the friendship of attachment with me. Second type of the mind, not the first type of the mind. I, I don't have an open mind to learn. And so now we will continue to purify the mind. It still needs that purification. So eyes are closed already, looking deep inside the forehead in the space. There you are dropping Om Shanti. You see the space. You have the space, and that is why you are dropping Om Shanti there. Very good. And now the body is in the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. That too is good. And now is the time to start breathing into the rib cage, short and gentle breath, and continue the journey. Do you still remember resistance, endurance to the joy of doing, to the joy of being? So that knowledge, that understanding is working much more than your breathing. So your mind is neither scared nor obsessed nor getting concerned at how long you are breathing. The moment you see the resistance, you move to the endurance. From endurance, there is a joy of doing, and from the joy of doing, there is a joy of being. That is the basic process, if I say, of yoga to purify the mind by the pranayama. Dharana sucha yogyata manasa. If I pick up that principle, dharanasu, it gives you an ability of a one pointedness of the mind in a natural state to explore and find the real self is the goal of pranayama. Just continue breathing. And stop it. Pay attention to the flow of the breath. Check. There was no resistance. You bypass through the endurance, and there is a joy of doing. The mind feels that why I'm not doing for a longer period. You see, the change of that attitude is required. Now, in that attitude, look again inside the forehead, in the space. Say Om Shanti. In the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness, and start breathing through the belly. It is a little longer in the hissing breath. We will apply the same principles, same knowledge, resistance, endurance, joy of doing, and joy of being. We are driving the car and we are in the state of joy of being. We keep on communicating. The driving does not interfere. My talking does not interfere the driving. I'm comparing it to the breathing and the state of your mind inside. I believe you get it. It's a longer breath. You expand your belly, you contract your belly like a balloon, longer than the chest. Om Shanti continues deep inside the forehead. Continue into the belly, breathing long in the hissing. I know you remember resistance, endurance. Then comes the third stage, joy of doing it, and then the joy of being. Joy of being is separate from what you are doing. Very critical. By the breathing, you are evolving your mind. Mind experiences the resistance, mind experiences the endurance, mind experiences the joy of doing, mind experiences the joy of being. Do you see where I'm taking you to? A clarity, a deeper understanding. Means what? It is a higher level of awareness. That's all. It's a knowledge, it's a state of consciousness. You are already dwelling deeper into the meditative state. Well, how it is going to help? It will help you to live into that joy of being state the moment you are interacting with a person in relationship, in difficult and unfavorable condition. You enter into the joy of being. Continue breathing. And stop this breathing. Pay attention to the breath, the flow of the breath. That is another way of understanding the joy of being. Joy of being means what? Present moment. We have been using everywhere. Oh, I live in the present moment. Unless the mind withdraws inside, it understands what exactly is the joy of doing and joy of being. How can you enter into the present moment? And in that present moment, can we simply drop Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers? It becomes a play and a fun. If it is play and a fun, it's a joy of being. If it demands an effort, it's a joy of doing. And joy of doing comes within also there's some level of endurance and some level of resistance. It may be hidden. And that is where I want you all should understand and go to deepen the practice. Shanti. Do you still remember? It's the mind's eye, mind's ear, mind's touch. It is not the physical senses are completing this step, are doing this step. Everything is happening in the mind. The cognition mind recognizes you touched mentally the segment, you said Om Shanti, you hear it, and you move further. Now, looking, moving the mind inside the cave of your heart. See the triangle of any color. Move the mind on the sides of a triangle with Om Shanti to check. Mind is able to sync clockwise and anti-clockwise. And if that is, then this time by saying Om, you are pushing the mind inside, deep inside the cave of your heart. Symbolic, but yes, let the mind be helped by physically localizing, oh, inside the center of my chest, and that is where the heart is. You move it. Yeah, that will help. And then you recognize the mind seemingly stops. Shanti, self absorption. You are in the joy of being, not the joy of doing. And there the revelation takes place. What should I do? Do nothing. Even when I say you wait in that state, it means that I'm doing. That's why I did not use the word wait. is the joy of being. Well, if your mind is distracted, return again, have a sync with the triangle, and go back. When you're doing on your own every day, which I believe, so stay in that state for a longer and longer period. Let the revelation take place. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We will share our experiences. How are you, Stephen?
Good, sir. Thank you. Uh, meditation was extremely quiet, calm, relaxed, fast. One of the things that stood out to me was this movement of energy when you started singing the Sarve Sham. Each one of the verses, the second as soon as you said the first note, I felt this energy from my lower spine up through my head. And when you got to the final verse of the Mangalam, I felt it stopped in my heart. And I had this fluttering that was going on in my heart that it distracted me to begin with, which then made the transition into the next step difficult because I was so focused there, but then was able to just let it all go and just fell into this just pure empty space of nothingness. So thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You have opened your experiences to another level. Every mantra has a content of prana in it, means that prana or the energy in it. When we reach to a higher level of practice, that prana and the word, which is the mantra, they are fused together. And we can experience that movement of the energy or movement of the prana at the physical level. So that's another branch of this Eastern wisdom which talks in detail about it. That is a beautiful way to put it. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you very much. The practice and the lesson, the word I come up with is freedom. When the mind becomes open, it just frees you up to the unlimited possibility. And I had an extremely deep meditation. I think, in fact, I forgot, I didn't hear the focus on your hands until it was like almost too late sort of thing. I was just extremely deep and peaceful and unlimited potential. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, you are right. When the mind belongs to the third type, it is always open, conditional, not judgmental. Condition is discernment and dispassion. So you get away with the word, and that opens the unlimited, definitely the possibilities that you are talking about. That's a good expression. Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. Very calm, peaceful. The takeaway or the focus for me was just where focusing on everything that's changing is temporary. So as soon as the mind settles there and knows that and accepts that, then it gets to choose the attitude in which it moves forward with that temporary.
Yes, when you said accept this, I remember I should rephrase the third type of the mind, which is totally open, but it does not mean that we can live 24 by 7 by the third type of the mind. So, what happens? I'm open when the mind is open to this. Mind is aware of the second type of the mind, the first type of the mind, so I accept it. The moment I have accepted, there is a recognition, and that recognition helps me to rise in awareness. So either I am open to these, I'm aware of these two types of the mind, or I'm aware of any moment of indulgence, any moment of attachment. That is where it leads to the ignorance. So that keeps me at the higher level of awareness. Beautiful, my friend. So, how are you, Dennis?
Thank you. The talk was helpful to understand better the peculiarities of my own mind. And as far as the meditation, it was deep and comfortable, and mind was ready to continue indefinitely.
Yes, very good, Dennis. Yes, the talk. You have to listen to this talk because the verse is very important. verse conveys, what message it conveys, has to be assimilated again and again. And if we can assimilate, it is definitely going to help us to live into the higher awareness. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thanks. I always appreciate your lessons on the gunas because I think they're a good it's a good reflection tool for what the mind's doing. And then when you know what the mind's doing, you can move past it. And during my meditation, I had just a realization or a recognition how radical it is to be and to be present, because of these gunas get in the way a lot.
Yes, yes, you reflected your mind focused on the three types of guna, and which I compared with the three types of the mind. I am into anxiety, mind is closed. It is empty inside, but still it is closed. Second type of the mind is also empty, but sometime it opens up, sometime it closes, based on my convenience, based on my indulgence, based on my attachment. And third type the mind is, that is, second type the mind is rastic mind. And third type the mind is always open. That is the meaning of acceptance. That is the meaning of recognition and awareness. But if it is open, does not mean that it is open to everything. It is open, at the same time it is conditional. It filters. How it filters? Not by being judgmental, but by being in the state of discernment and dispassion. That is what the sattvic mind is. So once we have a clear understanding, that is beautiful way to put it. Thank you. Randy, how are you, Christina?
Thank you. Today I felt that same experience I've described before of separate from my body, but it was from the beginning of closing my eyes until the very end, in the cave of the heart, and almost this like, wow, I have a body again, or I'm noticing the body again. So it was that whole period time.
Yes. Yes, it is progress. It is a sign of the progress. You see that, understand. This is my mouse. Clear? I am not my mouse. So when I say I'm not my mouse, it does not mean the mouse is destroyed or mouse does not exist. Are you getting it? So when I say I am not the body, you live into that awareness, it does not mean the body disappears. What is the point of ignorance? I am not the. What is the point of ignorance? I am the body. What is the point of wisdom? I am not the body. So that opens the gateway to the higher consciousness. We are approaching there slowly. How are you, Terry? If you can speak.
I'm okay. Everything was very even.
Yeah.
Oh no. Some endurance
Yeah.
happening. And but no, I didn't have any emotion.
Very good.
I just was like nothing.
Nothing. That's really good. So even that state of the nothingness, also we are totally detached from the body. And when you have that sense of detachment from the body, that is a great thing. Beautiful. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. So mine was calm. It was absorbed, and it's like dissolving all the events that are happening in the day. It was dissolving in that awareness. It was remain calm.
Yes, yes. Understand, that's, yes, you have been using this, dissolving all the events, circumstances, conditions, emotions, positive and the negative thought. Do you mean by dissolving? Dissolving means you see them, it is not you. They are separate from you. It means I'm not the body mind complex. It means I fly into the higher awareness. The body activities and the mental activities will continue. There from now onwards, we are entering into a very, I won't use the word complex, but very subtler level of understanding. Very subtle. Very subtle. That is all for today. Thank you very much. Attending
Thank you,
this.
sir.
Thank
Namaste.
Thank you.
Yes.
Namaste.
Let's say.